It was a real possibility that all 5 of us could have died that day.
On April 7th, Cedar City pilot Dean Englestead, flying a 2019 Honda HA420 jet, flew into Coos Bay, Oregon, a flight he'd done dozens of times before. But this time, something went wrong. Cedar City News reporter Jeff Richards sat with Englestead to hear the story in his own words.
So we went up every Monday. It always rains in Coos Bay. If it isn't, it's unusual. On this particular day, we went up. I did all my, you punch in what the weather's doing, landed right where I always land. So I remember going to the end of the runway, and I'm telling the guy in the right seat, Austin, we're going to go off the end. And I said, get on here with me. Let's push on the brakes as hard as we can. We got on there, and it did not slow down anymore. We were pushing on the brakes all the way. I said, we're going to go out the end. On the end of the runway, straight in front of us, there was 4 or 5 things with the instrument landing system, and they were tall and they were metal. And I didn't want to hit those, and they were lighted up, extremely bright. So I just gave a little bit of right rudder, and we missed those. On our right side, we found out later that there was a big electrical box. So we went and split right between them. But I remember looking out and seeing a fence post out there by the edge of the land. I thought, well, that's not going to be as hard to hit as these are. And we went out through the grass. The next thing I remember is water's rushing in the airplane. Now, it wasn't very deep. It was only 3 or 4 feet deep. The tide was down that day, thank goodness. We got out. We made sure everybody was okay. Everybody was hurting. But everybody was as calm as if they were getting out of a car going into Walmart. We all got out, walked it over to the shoreline, 120 feet. And then we went up, climbed a 15-foot embankment. It was rocky in the embankment. During the accident, when I knew I was going off the runway, it never went in my mind that we were going to die. I never had that thought process. But after looking at what the airplane looked like after, and looking at that area we had to go through, it was a real possibility that all 5 of us could have died that day. I honestly believe that those on the other side showed me where to go, because I don't think I'm that good. So we came out of it alive. First time I put a scratch on an airplane in 41,000 hours of flying. First time. I think it was a miracle, but I don't know. It's the only thing I can figure out it is. I do know that the airplane didn't stop. And they asked me that, do you think there was a mechanical? I have no idea. The FAA has asked me, do you think that this happened? I said, I have no idea. I just know that I pushed on the brakes and didn't slow down. I don't think I did anything that would have caused the accident, because I've done it. I probably got 25,000+ landings in my life. And it's the first one that went awry.
Englestead said he hopes to be back flying again within the next few months. Read the full story by Jeff Richards. This is Cedar City News, your #1 source for local news.